A fiery chase filled with sparks ignites Southern California freeways. A fiery chase filled with sparks Wednesday night ignited freeways near Los Angeles International Airport, ultimately ending with at least 3 or 4 other suspects escaping the vehicle. It is unclear when the Southgate police officers began the pursuit, although the officers handed it over to California police shortly before 11 p.m. The suspects were reportedly wanted for brandishing a firearm, and initial, unconfirmed reports indicate at least 2 handguns and a rifle were inside the vehicle. When the driver entered the Los Angeles International Airport Horseshoe, the LAPD unsuccessfully attempted a pit maneuver. The suspect vehicle responded by entering the parking garage, where reports emerged that they may have ejected firearms from the white SUV. When the vehicle reappeared, its rear bumper was dragging, and sparks were seen flying from the right front tire, which eventually vaporized, leaving the SUV on 3 wheels and a rim. At the intersection of Gorman Street and East 115th Street,
About a pursuit started in Southgate. The want, brandishing a weapon. CHP is now in pursuit, and you see there that the car has clearly have some damage, and so now the wheels are interacting with the highway and sparks are flying everywhere. This is a pretty good high-speed pursuit in that it looks as if CHP in particular going at a high rate of speed following that car. That car is not going to be able to continue at that speed with this damage on the front of the car. Those sparks are just amazing, and you can see that the vehicle is starting to slow a bit, but they're definitely at risk here as you see the sparks going under the car and coming out behind, and the CHP making that approach, and then that pit. Car is still going forward, hasn't been affected by the pit as yet, but you see how the damage, how much damage there is on that car. This is some kind of white SUV. And again, the suspect, the driver, is accused of brandishing a weapon, and now the CHP has been in pursuit. This is an area of Compton. Now another pit, rear bumper has been taken off, but the car still manages to keep going. As we watch the car on Willowbrook and East Imperial Highway in the area of Compton, this driver cannot go for very much longer, but we continue to watch. Skyfox overhead. The CHP gets closer, keeps an eye out for an opportunity to do another pit. 2 pits so far, as we watch that car clearly damaged, clearly losing control over what that car is able to do. And now it's in a sort of a zigzag kind of situation, East 115th and Croesus Avenue in Watts, slowing down.
The driver finally stopped, and the suspects fled the vehicle and fled on foot. It wasn't long before he was surrounded by California Highway Patrol officers with their weapons drawn. The suspect surrendered and was arrested. Meanwhile, law enforcement was setting up a perimeter in the area to search for the remaining suspects.
Overhead, keeping an eye on this suspect, but meantime, the other CHP officers will have to keep an eye out for down. One of the suspects, the primary suspect, we believe, is the driver, just stopped. Perhaps thought that perhaps he could get away with, I'm just here. But no, instead, he's on the ground. There's a CHP officer on top of him, cuffing him now. This is in the area of Gorman Avenue and 115th Street. So a relatively short CHP pursuit for a suspect, a driver that brandished a weapon. The guy stopped the car, ran out of the car along with 3 other people. But in this case, the driver now in custody. And it was an easy arrest. It was a peaceful arrest. But that guy will be in trouble for sure. There are various charges that are typically leveled at a suspect like that. Some of it has to do with the original want. Some of it has to do with the mere fact that the driver kept going despite the fact that law enforcement, that the CHP cars were behind, telling him to stop. Meantime, we watch as the police officers, the CHP officers in this case, are slowly going through that street there looking for other suspects. Again, we watched as 3 other people came out of the car at the same time. It was as if it was on cue. The car stopped and all 4 doors opened, and the 4 suspects came out. Now 1 is in custody, and you're watching as those officers are using their high-powered flashlights to find the other suspects. But right now, all we know of is the 1 suspect. We don't know. It's possible. It's possible that while Skyfox was focusing on the driver, that perhaps another officer was able to take down or arrest another one of the suspects. But